Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crash Bandicoot 4 I am not completing this game playthrough. It's time for another demo level.
Crash 4, I don't have the time.
Actually, 2 demo levels, because Ship Happens unlocks in this part, too. That's another brilliant reaction shot, isn't it?
Oh, you're going to go play the Cortex thing first?
I always do the timelines as soon as they unlock, because it's like, even if I'm not completing it, I'm going to show off all the levels, and that includes the timelines. I do want to show off all the multiple playable characters, and, well, the timelines are most of their gameplay.
Funny level name.
I was like, I'm wondering, like, what the parents' reaction is. They're just walking past the TV. There's the kids playing this, and they're just chuckling to themselves, and the kid is completely oblivious to why they're laughing.
Probably. Because, like, the kid is not going to get that joke 9 times out of 10.
They wouldn't get Ship Happens in Roblox.
I didn't get half the puns in Gex Enter the Gecko when I played that.
Oh god, you know what? Speaking of Gex, I was reading one of my PlayStation magazines earlier, and I had absolutely no idea about this. I forget the guy's name. The guy that directed Dead Space, the original Dead Spaces. Glenn Schofield, I think his name is. I can't think what his name is. Apparently, the same guy that directed all the Dead Space games also directed Enter the Gecko and Deep Cover Gecko.
Well, I mean, look, we all have our humble beginnings.
Like, Goof Trip guy invented Resident Evil,
yeah.
So.
Evil, yeah.
Do you know
one of my favorite things about doing research for videos is learning that kind of shit. It was like, fucking
Super
Goof
Monkey
Troop.
Ball guy created Yakuza.
Well, what's
Really?
depressing about
Yeah.
and what's depressing is he says, I don't get why anybody likes Super Monkey Ball. It's just some dumb game. And I'm like,
Aww.
dude, don't break my heart like that. I love Monkey Ball.
I mean, on the bright side, he did say he wants to come back to F-Zero, so...
I mean, yeah, but there's no monkeys in F-Zero.
Actually, there is.
Oh, of course there is.
Okay, I have seen screenshots and videos of the shit that can happen. I haven't played any Yakuza games, so I've seen what can happen. So for the creators to then go, "Oh, Super Monkey Ball's too silly," is a bit of a stupid thing to say.
It is kind of, yeah.
Yeah, there's a good... Oh, I don't remember the name of the person who did it, but there is a really good video on the subject that I could find sometime and show you eventually if I don't forget / get too lazy.
You're going to forget as soon as this part's
Yeah,
over.
probably.
It might just come down to, like, the creator... the Yakuza series is more close to what he prefers to create, and Super Monkey Ball was something he created more out of obligation and just happened to do a good job on.
Monkey Ball is what you create to pay the
Yeah.
bills.
You have to remember, Monkey Ball was an arcade game first, and then it got ported to GameCube.
Yeah. Although the original Monkey Ball is not something that you ever want to play because you have
The
to
banana
use
controller.
a banana control stick, which apparently is stiff as hell. And
Yeah,
What's a banana?
I've seen one before. It is really bad.
Wow.
yeah, it's like, and you have to be so precise in those games. It's like, how are you supposed to do this with a banana?
It's like you're controlling shit with a banana.
Go banana.
So, like, I didn't know this was here until, like, my 4th time playing this level.
Oh dear. I'm afraid to say
Hey,
that
there.
this was another
Just
demo
fucking
level,
what
and I'm
the
afraid to
fuck.
say I found that on my first go because I was ready for the game to throw shitty secrets at me all over the place.
Whenever there's the timeline stages, is the hidden gem in the alternate character or in the main section?
It depends. It depends.
Oh god.
Yeah, there's no rule.
Oh man. 'Cause
Yeah, they
then
don't
you just-
make it easy. They do not make it easy.
I can imagine.
I think personally, the only theory I have is that it's that they were worried that people didn't think it would be worth $60.
I mean, I guess, but
I don't agree. I think it would have been fine with half of the shit. Like, that's the thing I was trying to say in my video. Like, even if they cut out half of the shit, I still would have had a 40 fucking hour long Crash Bandicoot game. Like, how is that,
which even that sounds like it might be outstaying its welcome.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. I don't know, yeah.
To be honest, I don't think it was entirely concerns about the game not being worth $60. I think part of the reason they extended the completion so long is because they know people like playing Crash for completion and just gotta let it get away from themselves,
Yeah, it's...
I suppose so, but there's no Crash, unless I'm mistaken, and you correct me if I'm wrong, There's no Crash game ever until Crash 4 that required as many hours of gameplay to fully complete. You know, so I think it goes a little beyond them trying to compensate.
I don't think it's that. That's the thing. I don't think it's them trying to compensate exactly. I think, like in some respect, the length of completion in Crash 4 was itself an experimental aspect of the design.
I guess. Well,
like until we had a Crash game that was this long, did we know that we wouldn't like that?
oh, if you had told me that the game was going to be 30 hours long, I probably wouldn't have been too happy about it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily everyone's response to that.
No, but to a Crash game specifically, and Crash 4 following on from 1, 2, and 3, yeah, I wouldn't have liked that.
You say that, but you also went after the platinum relics.
Which didn't take me that long. And that's optional things that doesn't do anything to anybody, but they want you to do the platinums as part of completion here.
I think that if it were 30 hours for completion, like all the way complete, then I think maybe that would be fine. I don't play Crash, so I don't really know the time. But I'm thinking of games like Yoshi's Woolly World or Rayman Origins or stuff like that. Not 3D, but similar sort of space where beating the game takes maybe half as long as completing the game. Crash, the levels are more linear and fast-paced if you're not going for stuff. So if you're just run to the end, it's probably a lot quicker. But the same thing.
Tons quicker.
All I'm saying, really, is that they don't necessarily need to have been approaching the game from this is a $60 game, we need to make the game take longer so that it's worth more money mindset to have wanted to try a more ambitious completion formula.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. It's just something that kind of crossed my mind while I was playing it.
I missed.
Oh, you're going for it. Oh,
damn it.
Oh, you didn't commit.
Oh, man. But yeah, no, I can understand this might be them trying to see, like, okay, how long can we reasonably make a Crash game? Like, I can understand that. I just think they probably overestimated.
Yeah. I think...
What I think...
Oh, sorry. You go first. Go first.
I was just going to say, I think overall, game studios need to understand that they would be better off making a satisfying 10 to 15 hour game and just sell it for like 30 or 40 bucks instead of full price.
Well, yeah, but you know, to be honest, at this point, the only studio that's actually flirted with that as a deliberate experiment so far, I think, is Ninja Theory of all.
Sega, kinda. Like Sonic Forces was only $40.
that was them giving up.
Yeah, I'd argue that. Yeah, I would argue that those games are more a case of they didn't feel like it was worth it at all, not because of the length or anything.
It was kind of them giving up. But Ninja Theory, like as a deliberate experiment, went out of their way to make Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice a AAA quality, shorter game for a lower price kind of thing.
Yeah, and I love it. I love Senua's Sacrifice.
Yeah, that's good.
But I mean, the biggest problem, though, that's my problem. More like the thing to consider is that whether a game is worth $60 or not is always going to be an extremely subjective topic.
Yeah, worth is such a weird thing to say because I played $60 games that I've liked a hell of a lot less than $10 games in the same genre. You know, like
I mean, it's always going to vary a little bit, but there is some level of, you know, a platformer like this probably shouldn't be 80 hours. Just letting you know. So
damn it.
I'd rather them make.
The thing is that you can't put everything under one umbrella because to me,
to some extent, I think you can, depending on genre and market.
Well, that's what I mean by genre. But it's like a $60 game. There are so many fucking factors to consider on describing its worth.
I mean, but like if we compare something like Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, which is like a $30 game, and New Super Mario Brothers, which is still $60, it's just like one is an amazing 2D platformer, the other is fine. The fine one's New Super Mario Brothers.
And that's the thing. Like, I would rather play Impossible Lair and complete it again.
Oh, okay. You see, because that's another game where completing it's a pain in the ass.
Yes, but it's nowhere near as long, repetitive, and boring and bullshit as this. That's the problem. It's not about the length. It's about what you do in the length.
I can agree with that. I think, to be honest, though, that attempting to give a Crash Bandicoot game a long and ambitious completion cycle was not an unworthy experiment.
No.
think they just need to find a better balance.
Basically, whatever game comes after this, it has the potential to be the fucking absolute best, quintessential, no point playing the other one's Crash Bandicoot game ever. It has that. It has the chance to do that.
I see that. At the same time, I don't think we're going to get a Crash Bandicoot game that's as hard as this one after this one. I think this is going to go down in history as the most generally difficult Crash Bandicoot game.
I'm
So
fine with the
here's a-
difficulty. Just get rid of all the completion shit. Keep the difficulty.
I'm fine with the difficulty.
agree.
I would love to see them
Yeah.
keep up with this difficulty, maybe even amp it up a little bit in the next game, but I'm being realistic. I don't think that's going to happen.
From what I've seen, the difficulty is not what everyone's complaining about with Crash 4. It is
I've
always just getting
seen
everything.
What's
reviews
the?
that do,
Let's
actually.
consider this though. Would it be okay, or would people be less annoyed with a Crash game that has no inverted stages but is up to twice as long? Like, so there's quote unquote the same amount of content.
So, like 60-something levels?
Yeah, because I still think that even that might get exhausting, even if all of the levels were unique.
Yeah,
That
I
seems like
agree.
asking a lot of the developer budget, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
I would
understand
rather
the-
have that. If you're asking what would I rather have, I'd rather have more original so that it didn't feel like I was playing 300 hours worth of an 80-hour
Also,
game.
not to put too fine a point on it, but the data size for this game is pretty freaking huge because
Yeah,
of
no.
all these unique assets.
Yeah, realistically speaking, it would probably be like a third more levels, and even that's generously speaking. I think that if you weren't repeating content so much, then it wouldn't feel so exhausting. And if they toning it down on the secrets, I think is also probably the other big thing that I think would just get people to not be as annoyed.
Or just
Because-
keep the secrets and get rid of the whole no death perfection shit because they don't mix and match together. That's the problem.
That's true. You would have to do one or the other. I
Yeah.
just feel like people. My gut instinct is that people are more annoyed about missing 2 boxes in a level as big as this.
Damn it.
You know, but I can understand the other side.
How
too.
did I mess that up?
I don't know. You kind of went out of your way to miss them.
Wait, that vine is sideways. Gravity should not be pushing you toward whatever.
I meant to hit the phase shifting button and I hit the dive down beneath button.
Dear.
It's like, yeah.
Also, speaking of hearing songs in other songs, this stage here, it will come back after the chase sequence is over. But once I heard the tequila song, I couldn't unhear it.
Oh, like da da da
Da-da-da-da-da, yep.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah, we were talking about it. Off screen, but with the polar bear jingle reminds me of the Jetsons.
there's
And I can't.
There's
unhear
a
it.
song in Trauma Center that sounds almost exactly like Rick
Fucked
Roll.
up.
It sounds like what, Ted?
Rick Roll, Rick Astley.
Well, no, Robo Steam from Chrono Trigger already does that.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
also Trauma
that's true.
Center.
Yeah. I hate that kind of shit because you can't unhear it. And
Ultra Instinct, John. Ultra Instinct.
it's not even. I mean, that's one example, sure. And I think I mentioned this in my Kingdom
Oh
Hearts
god,
3
once you
video.
mentioned that, I couldn't. That was it. Ruined it. You ruined it for me.
Yeah, one of the boss battle themes for the Gummy Ship Second sounds like the AV Jam theme.
Oh,
and I can't
what?
unhear it.
Yeah. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
It's
man.
like that's the AV Jam theme. I'm sorry. I
Having to
can't
play as
listen
Mickey
to this song
Mouse's
anymore.
ass.
You think James plays Roblox?
Is anyone brave enough to answer?
When I played Dino Dash in the demo, I thought it was way harder than it was because I didn't understand that the slide jump had hang time at that
Oh
point.
yeah, same here. Yeah.
So I kept getting tripped up on the moving platform, crouch under a thing and jump bits. because I didn't understand how much leeway I had with that hang time. Because the hang time is not something Crashes 2 and 3 gave you. If you slid off an edge, you fell off that goddamn edge.
That's a trick that a lot of games have been doing more recently, is the slide or roll or whatever giving you hang time. Like
Yeah,
we were talking about
Impossible Lair
ukulele.
does it.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, I'm glad that they explain it to you in the tutorial, which makes it a lot better
Well,
than like
Impossible
DKC.
Lair was very clearly trying to be a Donkey Kong
DKC,
Country
yeah.
game.
Yeah, but the Donkey Kong Country, I never liked it in that because there were just some secrets you wouldn't be able to get unless if you knew that that was something you could do. But the game never tells you can do it, so unless if you like are a pro gamer, I suppose. I just never figured it out the first time I was playing.
I mean, maybe not the first time, but I mean, it's one of those. When you're a kid and you're just playing it, you'll try stuff.
Yeah, you'll
eventually-
make a mistake.
Yeah, I don't like secrets that are hid behind violations of common sense.
Yeah, that you can jump out of a roll when going off a ledge. It's just not something that's natural to me. So the game has to tell me that it exists. Versus something that I don't mind is, for example, this is in my mind because I've been playing it recently. In Rayman, Rayman Origins and Legends, you get a speed boost when you jump out of a dash attack, and your momentum carries a lot farther.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, which is a lot of fun, but you never need to do it, even for secrets. So once you do figure it out, it's just like a cool piece of speedrunning tech that feels good to do,
Yeah.
versus something that it's like there's this letter hanging over a cliff that you feel like you can't get, and you're like, how the hell am I supposed to do this? And until you understand how this weird mechanic works, it just doesn't, it's just impossible. Unless if you spend... Unless, I feel like the jump... What? The what?
Yeah, that's a bad one.
I don't know what you're talking about. That one's pretty basic.
I never would have expected that you could
Yeah.
go behind that in a 2D section.
That's the thing.
just me.
Yeah, it defies common sense. It's just like, what?
I just would have assumed there was an invisible wall. Because
Yeah,
otherwise...
same here.
You've always been able to use the Z-axis in 2D in Crash Bandicoot.
You guys just said that you couldn't in the...
Yeah, I was gonna say exactly. Ted's exactly bring up what I was gonna mention. We were just talking about how the Z-axis is locked in the Cortex bonus stages,
It's
which
not
goes against one another.
locked. It's just there's an invisible wall stopping you from
Can
walking
you move
off the
up and
edge.
down? Can you move up and down in a Z-axis in those
Yes,
stages?
you can.
No, you can't. You can turn your character model, but you can't move. So
What,
it's
the
You'd never
locked.
think
flashback
to do
tape
it.
specifically?
Yes.
Yeah, but the flashback
You can't
tapes
move in a
the
Z-axis.
flashback tapes are the exception though, because the bonus
Well,
stages
there's
in general allow you to use the Z-axis.
Yeah,
But
but
the
they're
bonus
also the
stages,
most
no.
high-profile examples of 2D gameplay in the game.
And in the bonus stages in this game, I believe the Z-axis is locked.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
The bonus
So,
stages in Crash 4 might not use as much Z-axis as in the older games. That is true.
Well, no, we're just talking about within the same game.
Yes, I know.
That's the problem.
But
Yeah, yeah.
at the same time, that's not a restriction that the regular levels face.
No, but you are trained to not think of using the Z-axis because of how many other times in the same game you don't have to
Exactly.
use
So
the
you'd never
Z-axis. That's the
even if
issue.
you were looking everywhere for the hidden gem, you'd never think to do
But
that at that point.
in the regular level, most of the side-scrolling sections do use the Z-axis. Though.
Stop defending it. It is terrible at the end.
I don't get why this is a hang up. Okay.
Just like half of Lewis's argument is I'm built different.
But, like, the Z-axis for hidden stuff has been in almost every level side-scrolling section up to this point.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but the
you're,
thing
you're
is that you
right.
can usually see stuff.
Yeah,
in
there's
the
a hint
background.
there,
you
though.
can't. Those
And
it's like-
also in the dinosaur side-scrolling in particular, they don't ever use it once, so you'd never think to try it.
Huh? Really?
Ryan, what do you think?
Well, I just want the game to not be so damn hard.
This is game debate.
I want the game to not be so damned hard right after we talked about the difficulty being a good thing.
I'm talking about the completion stuff. You know that.
Yeah.
But, I found that on my first try, and it was deliberate, so I don't know. That's just me.
Well, la-di-da.